joined by Mr. Montek Ahluwalia, non-state actor of GGGI and Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission of the Government of India, to hear his views on GGGI's role as an international organization and its programs in developing and emerging countries. You have a long history with GGGI. Back in 2011, you accepted an invitation to join the board of the directors of GGGI, and now as a non-state actor, I want to hear, how would you define the vision and mission of the organization?
Well, I think the name Green Growth itself gives a sense of the mission. The organization is designed to promote ideas related to green growth, which are actually very crucial right now. Because I think on the one hand you have concerns on pollution, emissions, threats to climate change, etc., scarcity of key resources like water. And on the other hand you have a clear requirement that developing countries have to grow. So the idea of green growth is that it should be possible to grow and to meet the development aspirations of the developing countries, and at the same time contain any damage that there might be to the environment. So combining these objectives is what green growth is about. And I think it's probably the only institution that is actually focusing just on this issue. And to my mind, it's a very important mission, because most countries now recognize that this is a problem that they must address. And hopefully GGGI can help different countries achieve their objectives.
GGGI is working on the ground to help governments develop green growth strategies. Now, in your view, what is unique about GGGI's programs in developing and emerging countries?
Well, we are, of course, finalizing strategies right now, but you can see many aspects that are actually quite unique. First of all, GGGI is not like a traditional international organization, heavy bureaucracy, providing its own money, etc. It's really trying to help governments put their ideas together and wants to partner with governments. That's point number one. Second, GGGI is not just its own bureaucracy. It believes in bringing in other expertise and bringing in other actors. I mean, it's the only international organization which has non-state actors, for example, on the council, which is a unique factor. It is working with many governments now across the world. I mean, for example, Ethiopia. Ethiopia has set the target that they want to become a middle-income country by 2025, but without increasing their carbon footprint. Now, that's a pretty ambitious goal, and GGGI is working with the government to see how that can be achieved. So we've laid out an entire menu of things we can do, and governments would be able to look at that menu and say, look, we're interested in this, can you help us? And we could help in different parts of that objective.
GGGI is conducting 34 programs in 20 countries, which is very impressive. How do you personally view GGGI's role in spreading green growth in developing and emerging economies?
Well, I think it's a very important role, and I hope that it's going to be successful. I mean, I know, for example, in India, they're working with the government of Karnataka, because that government, it's a state government, that government has its own strategy for a low-carbon growth strategy. GGGI is working in partnership with them and with other NGOs in Karnataka to help the government. I believe in Yunnan province in China, they're doing the same thing. So I feel that governments know that this is complex and that they have to do new and innovative things. So I think GGGI can partner with them, bring in expertise from everywhere, including bringing in the private sector. I mean, that's an important part of the GGGI mission, that it's not just the government, it's a partnership between the government and the private sector. So I think they can bring all these things together and help governments that want to evolve a strategy.
Now, just a quick question. How do you see GGGI developing in the future? So how about its future goals, or where do you see it going in the future?
Well, I mean, one of the things we're going to discuss over this year is the longer-term strategy. But my own view is that I think it's on the right path, and offering a menu of services to countries that want to push green growth, partnering with those countries. And you know, GGGI could be used by the other funding agencies like the World Bank or the ADB to sort of help countries to develop projects which can later on be financed either by multilateral donors or by public and private sector, etc. So I think pushing that idea and more generally making people aware that a lot is possible. And I think that at the moment people are not actually aware that quite a lot can be done, and secondly, many countries are doing a lot. So I think the concept of green growth is relatively new, and I think pushing that idea and making people aware of it is very important, and GGGI could help in doing that.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.